How's it going, everyone? Welcome to this video. In this video I'm going to give away this little Blood Angel Space Marines to one of my Patreon for the month of November. This is December, and I'm going to go ahead and give away this model to one of my supporters. This video I won't be working on anything. This time I will be talking about my new project, which is in the back. And I'll be answering questions from commenters on YouTube. So here we go. So this time we got 55 patrons, and here are the names. Hope you can see them very quickly. And the reason there's multiples is because people who donate more get more chances to win something. And I'm going to random.org, and I'm going to randomly generate a number between 1 and 55. Good luck to you all, and I hope you like this little giveaway. Here we go. Number 42. Who was that? 42 was Adam Linkus. I hope I pronounce your last name correctly, but if I don't, I apologize. Thank you very much for being my Patreon, all of you, and I'll be contacting you, Adam, in a short while to let you know that you can take away this little Blood Angels Space Marine. I hope you like it, and we'll proceed with the hangout. So here's what I'm doing. I'm going to paint my Betrayal at Cult set as Night Lords. I just decided it. I was looking into all of the legions, and I was trying to paint a bunch of samples, and that's why I have like 3 videos released in 2 weeks. And I was very pumped into it. I was trying to make a lot of videos in my spare time, and I think I did a lot of progress. I like them all. I have a really hard time deciding which legion I was going to do. All that I knew is that it was a traitor legion, which I wanted to do, and yeah, that's it. The reason I was like hesitant to use Night Lords is because their jump infantry is super expensive if you buy it from Forge World. So I'm gonna go with regular Raptors from Warhammer 40k, from Chaos, and I'll just use them because Raptors were supposed to be more like the starters of that KLC look on their armors before everyone else, and because I don't want to pay for those expensive Raptors, and I think they look pretty good. I think they will mix pretty well, if you can see it here. And I painted this little test model, and I think I'm gonna like them. Okay, it's a little far away and it's a little bit too bright, but you get the idea. And Raptors, I was always a little bit I didn't like them because I didn't know why. They looked funny and clunky and kind of weird, but now that I mounted them on these kind of 32mm bases, I like them a lot more, because the old ones, like I have this old one, has a very little base, and it looks like it's gonna tip over. It looks kind of clunky, it looks funny, and even though I balanced it well, doesn't look like it's gonna fall, but it does. These ones are way harder to knock down because you have more room in their base to put them in, so I feel they are more stable and they don't fall as often. So yeah, I'm happy with that, and that's what I'm doing. Next video I think is gonna be one of these. It's gonna be this one as a Night Lord, and I'm gonna start working on it as soon as possible. But even though I'm on school break, which is why I have more time to paint miniatures and to play with miniatures and video games, I still have to work, and I still have the holidays coming on, so I might not have a ton of time, but I think I will at least release a video weekly as intended. And yeah, it's gonna be great. So let me know which other 30k legions you would like to see, and I have a bunch of them to paint. This set over here is a set that I bought on eBay just to try out other painting schemes, because I didn't have the Betrayal at Cult set yet. My Betrayal at Cult set just arrived and it's complete, and nothing is yet cut off from the sprues, but I can get a very good idea of how the army is going to look, and I'm liking this very much, because I don't like buying and painting expensive vehicles. I would like most of my my infantry to have jump packs, which is still fast attack, and I'll still get the rhinos and stuff, but I like the theme of the jump packs, and I never had a chance to use it on my other armies simply because the bikes always seem like a more reasonable option. And even though they look cooler, I didn't like the model because of their small bases, and because they are kind of hard to paint. They're not hard, but they have a ton of trimming and details that you really have to invest in the paint job. And not that it's a bad thing, but I always felt like lazy and didn't want to build them and paint them. Now I have a reason, and I like the result very much. And with that said, I'm going to go ahead and read some comments. I didn't get almost any comments on my last hangout. I only got like 4, and I'm going to read them right now, and then I'm going to look around and see what other comments I have on other videos to fill up some time. This is going to be a short hangout, I guess. I don't know yet, but I'm going to try to look at what you guys wrote. So first comment is sheep shaving. With Betrayal at Cult out and the popularity of Warhammer 30k growing, is there a possibility of you doing 30k Legion tutorials? This was last month, so at that time I didn't know, but now I know that I like it, and I am trying to do as many Legions for the 30k universe as I can, because I have a bunch of miniatures that I can use. And yeah, I'm gonna keep going and doing them. And yeah, thank you very much for your comment. Next one is Nisi Muck. Hey man, just supported you on Patreon. Hey, thank you very much. I have just started to learn painting, and your tutorials have helped a lot. I just finished my first model and an ultramarine land speeder, and now I'm about to paint my first tactical squad. Keep up the great work on your videos. Thank you very much, man. Great. I really like the fact that many people send me these comments where they tell me that they learned to paint with my videos, and I'm really proud of that. I like it. Thank you very much for your comment and letting me know. Anti-Skanger says, great video, man. Thank you, man. And then Espresso, can you play Blood Rage miniatures? I'm not familiar with the range. I think I had someone offer me to send me one of those miniatures, but I didn't. I was very busy, and I didn't know the range or the story or anything, so I just skimmed it. I'm sorry, but I'm willing to look at it and see how it looks. But I'm trying to stick with the hobby that I like, that is 40k. I'm trying to grow this community as a 40k player, and that's mostly what I stick to. But if I have time, I would probably, I would like to see those miniatures and see what they look like and see if I can make a tutorial. But I don't know. I would like to have more time. That's what I'm thinking. But yeah, thank you for your comment. And then those are all the comments on this video. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to find just random comments. Max Ringle says, "Fist, please." You mean Imperial Fists? Yeah, probably. I will do them. But I'm trying to start with the Trader Legions, and next one is going to be Night Lords. Probably after that is going to be either Emperor's Children or World Eaters, and then I can go ahead and paint some fists or something like that. I'm not really sure. I don't have a schedule. Nothing scripted. I just paint what I feel like, and I try to listen to the comments. But yeah, fists are definitely going to be another tutorial, and I'm going to try to improve from my last Imperial Fists video that I did for 40k. Jesus P or Jesus P. I like so much this paint scheme. Yeah, thank you, man. This is talking about my last Alpha Legion. I'm gonna try not to read those. I'm gonna try to read something that I can respond to. But thank you for your comment. OD60 says, "Whoa, great video, thanks. Next, please do Horus Heresy Emperor's Children." Yeah, I'm really planning to do them. Ado Pipska, I don't understand that. Okay, this video came out literally 3 days since I started working on Alpha Legion myself. Now I have to finish them as they are, knowing this amazing way of painting them exists. I'm sorry, man. Don't get too bummed about that. It's not the most amazing Alpha Legion color scheme. It's just like a well, it's my way that I would paint them. But Alpha Legion has a lot of different interpretations. Just to come up with the color scheme, I was really hitting myself in the head because I didn't know if I wanted to go lighter or greener or bluer or darker or go metallic. There's a lot of different ways of painting Alpha Legion, and Alpha Legion often disguises themselves to look as other legions, so to confuse everybody, and because they're like that. So if your color scheme works well and it looks cool, it's totally fine. It doesn't have to be like mine. In fact, any of my videos, your faction doesn't have to look like mine to be legit. My color schemes are not all of the time legit. They change a lot, and they're my way of painting at the time that I think is the most reasonable and that I like. So that's it. So you can tweak them a little bit and make them look like this if you like, but I'm sure your color scheme is gonna look pretty good as well. So thank you, man, for your comment. I'm gonna go to Peter Holman. How's it going, everyone? I am Alfarius, and welcome to this painting tutorial. That cracked me up a little. That cracked me up. Great tutorial too. Thanks, man. Yeah, that was something I just added in on the fly when I was editing. I thought it would be a little bit funny. So next one. Okay, X-Men T says, next, could you paint Grey Knights Terminators? I want to start a Grey Knight army and I'm new to 40k. I don't have any Grey Knight Terminator model to paint, and I'm not planning to buy miniatures. I have some miniatures for other factions of 40k right now, but you can pretty much paint them as I painted my Grey Knight. What was it? It was just a Grey Knight. I don't remember which kind of Grey Knight, but I have a Grey Knight tutorial, and you can paint it like that if you want. Although that one uses a lot of dry brush, and now I'm a big fan of using metallics in layers, but I would have to figure out a way for it to look cleaner. I would definitely work on another metallic kind of Grey Knight tutorial in the future, but my schedule is already set. I'm working on 30k at least until the end of the year, which is all December, and then I can move on back to 40k, I guess. And I have a ton of 40k, and you can take tips from the videos that I'm making all the time. So sorry, man, but yeah, I'll try to keep it in mind. Thank you for your comment. Rotten Flieger says that he would like to see Heresy World Eaters. Yeah, they're on my mind too. That's one of the other legions that I can't. I was hitting my head to decide between these murderous Night Lords or the World Eaters, because I have a World Eater 40k army and slash Demonkin, and I really like that Karn model. Karn looks amazing, but I don't know why I decided to go for these, because they have a more fleshed out theme in my mind. I like the rules that they have, and I like the lightning claws with rending. I think that's the rule, so I decided to go with them instead, and they can ally with my Demonkin and have different colors, but they will look cool, so that's what matters. So and now I will have a ton of raptors, so that would be cool. But yeah, World Eaters, I like World Eaters a lot. Is it possible, if it's possible, could you do a Harlequin painting tutorial? And an awesome work. That was Leo Sabihian. Harlequin, I do have a Harlequin that I would like to paint, but sometimes I see like Warhammer TV or other painters that do these tutorials that I was planning to make, and I see that they have a very similar way of doing things that I do. I'm not a very I take a lot of time to research and try to find pictures of things that I would like to paint, and I try to investigate how my color scheme is gonna reflect on the fluff as most accurate as possible. So they do very good tutorials, and I don't have much to add to them, and you can find that tutorial already on the internet from many other painters. I think I don't remember their names, I'm sorry, but there's a lot of them, including the official Warhammer TV just uploaded a Harlequin diamond pattern tutorial, and pretty much is that kind of pattern takes skill more than just a recipe like I do. But I will try to make it in the future once people forget about that video, I think, and try to do it my way and try to change it a little bit, although I don't think there's gonna be a lot of difference, because I mean, it's a diamond pattern. I'm gonna start outlining the diamonds with black. I'm gonna undercoat the whole thing in one color, which is one color of the diamonds that is easiest to cover, and then I'm going to do the pattern in black, and then I'm gonna paint the other pattern, the other color on the panel, on the pattern with the other color, and then do some highlights. And that's pretty much what they did, and that was what I had in mind when I bought this little Harlequin to make that video, but they beat me to it. So I don't want to be a copycat, but I don't know. Sometimes it happens by accident. I don't try to take credit from other videos out there, but my way of painting is not that difficult or different. So in the future, I plan to start painting more professionally, making more blends and stuff. But as the hobby stands, I think we're not looking for people that paint super well, like award-winning miniatures, because we're trying to paint a lot of miniatures. If the hobby was just to paint one miniature, I would definitely invest hours and hours and days on doing a very awesome looking model. But as it stands, because we have to paint an army, I'm trying to find ways to paint large amounts of models that look pretty sick on the table and don't take a lot of time, even though they may take like 2 or 3 hours to paint a very clean looking model like this one. I tried to figure out different ways to paint it, painting the trim of this model, for example, quicker. Like you can paint the whole model in gold and then paint the blues, but that didn't work out. Then I didn't like the gold, so I went over it with another gold, and it's trial and error. It's you have to really experiment, and once I get a result that I like, I can just upload it. So yeah, that's it. Okay, gonna move on. I rambled on for a little bit there, so there we go. Heresy Emperor's Children says atheist gaming. Yeah, they're on my mind. I already established that, and thank you very much for your comment. I will paint some Heresy Emperor's Children. Okay, Alex Lewis says, I've been having issues with Dark Angel's highlights. With the highlights, I find them to be strong of a contrast between the different greens. I attempted to just blend with Caliban green towards the bottom, then Warpstone Glow and Mood Green all the way at the top. Yeah, to be honest, the Dark Angel's color scheme that I made twice now is based on the pictures that I've seen on their older books and box art of the miniatures, but I think I've seen other Blood Angels that have more muted colors as highlights instead of just bright mood green, which looks pretty strong contrast, like a pretty strong contrast between the Dark Angels green and mood green. I don't know why you would go that far of a jump on a miniature to make it give it a highlight. So it definitely needs some more colors in there for it not to jump as much and look kind of weird. So I'll definitely will try to figure it out and do another tutorial once I do. And I will try to look at pictures and see if I can figure it out, but it shouldn't be that hard. I'm just going to go ahead with a more muted green color on the edges for that tutorial, and I'll try to post it as soon as I get back to 40k. I will try to work on that. So thank you for your comment. Next, Jason Gardner, very good advice. I also use the inexpensive spray primers. That's from my priming tutorial. I found that they work very well on most plastics, with the exception of the Reaper Bones minis. As far as I understand, Reaper bones are made not to be primed, so that you can just start painting right away. I'm not sure about that, but I think that was mentioned on their when they released it, that you didn't have to prime it or something. That was one of the things that made them attractive to the public. For them, I've had very unpredictable results, including poor results with brush on primers. Vallejo white brush on primer was the worst product I've ever used. I think it must be meant for airbrush or something. I found that the Rust-Oleum white worked well with most minis, except for the Reaper bones, and the Rust-Oleum black was less consistent can to can sometimes. Yeah, that happens with cheap primers, and even with good primers, you have to really test prime something, not specifically a model. Before you use a primer for the first time, you can use it on a bit of sprue. Just prime a little bit of sprue and see if it dries well and looks well, and then you can go ahead and prime your models. But that happens sometimes, that the color is not the same, or the texture that it, the way that it dries, sometimes it cracks up, or sometimes it looks a lot more grainy than other times. So just be careful with those cheap primers. They don't always do that. To be honest, I don't test prime all the time, but it's a good idea to do it so that you don't ruin a whole bunch of models because you used a bad can of primer. That happened to me just once in my whole time painting models. I base coated some demonettes on some white cheap primer that I bought, and it came out all like very rough texture around the models, that it was just destroyed. I could have tried to strip them, but I didn't feel like we're putting all the work to strip the models again. And they were demonettes. I wasn't a big fan of them, although I would like to have a demonette army. But I don't like the new models. I would like to have the older ones, so I kind of gave up on them. Yeah, that happens sometimes. Sometimes the black would remain sticky and never fully cure. The one primer that works consistently for me with Reaper bones is the Sightmaster primer that can be found at Michael's craft store, gray color. The sprayer is not as good as Krylon, but it's... read more. Sorry, but it's similar to Rust-Oleum cans. The Sightmaster is more expensive than those two, but you can always use coupon to knock down the price. The Sightmaster primer has worked with every type of plastic miniature that I have. The set Reaper Bones, Games Workshop, D&D Minis, Battlelore, etc. Definitely need to try the automotive primer, as I've heard good things after priming in gray. I'll do a wash of very diluted black or brown paint, which brings out the details so that I can see what paint and the wash provides an initial shading. Subscribe. Thank you very much, man. Jason, thank you for subscribing, and thank you for the comment. I'm sorry about the baby crying. That's bound to happen every once in a while because I live with my brother and his little kid, and I'm sorry about that. But yeah, this is a very insightful comment. I would really like to go and find that primer that you mentioned. It sounds like a more professional primer. Is it not more expensive? I don't know, but primers do those things sometimes, and you have to be very careful which one you're using. The ones made for plastic that have a very shiny finish, like satin finish, I don't like. I always have to use a flat finish, a flat matte finish for my models, and I always paint over the whole thing, even if the model is going to be black at the end. I don't leave primer as it is, and I just try to paint over the primer all the time. So I'm not bothered by the color as much. I'm only interested on it to be close to the color that I want the model to end up like, so that it helps the color scheme instead of trying to paint white over black or something like that. So as I was saying, the automotive primers, they are a little bit thicker, so you have to be very careful to use the primer as thin as you can. Just lightly dust the surface of the model to make some texture for the paint to grab onto. You don't need to cover the whole thing, and I've talked about that on that video, so be careful with that. And I haven't tried your primer, so I would like to try that. You're telling me that is the Design Master primer. I'm gonna look for it like next time I go to Michael's, and I'll test it out and see if I like it. To what you're saying, I think that's one of the best ones, so I'm definitely interested in trying it out. I hope it's not too expensive, but I'm lately very much considering buying the most expensive white primers out there, because I have a Krylon white, and I don't dislike as much how it feels, although it creates a little bit more texture that I would like. It also smells pretty bad, and it smells bad even after a while of it has dried, and it still smells weird, and I don't like that. So I feel like it's not curing properly. It's not something that I can back up with facts, it's just how I feel. It might be perfectly good. Maybe you use it and maybe you have a lot of success, but I don't know. I don't like it as much. I would like something to go flatter and to go very thin, and to not smell as bad after the fact that I primed. So I mean, it's okay if it smells. It's reasonable for it to smell for like maybe half an hour, or a couple of hours, but after that I'm using the model and painting it, that I can smell the fumes of the model. I don't like that, and it's just personal taste, I guess. But yeah, what else? I'll definitely answer your comment later today, because some of these comments I don't respond. I let them accumulate, and so that I can respond to them on videos like this. So if you leave comments, try to leave the comments on this video so that I can respond, or whichever video you do. If I don't get enough comments on this video, I'll look for them in other places, so that I can fill up some time for me to talk to you and have topics that people are interested on listening to. And yeah, priming is a big topic on painting miniatures. Okay, James Monson, I'm thinking about making some Astral Knight Space Marines. Astral Knights. That sounds familiar, but I don't know if I know them. So silver with a blue trim. Now, know any way to make the blue look a little more metallic than on your typical ultramarine? That's weird. I haven't experimented with colored metallics yet. You can always use glaze, or some of those transparent inks. I'm not too familiar with them though, but I know they use them to tint like cockpits and stuff like that, or to paint blood effects. There are some, like, I think it's Tamiya that does transparent paints. I'm sorry, I can't really tell you right now. I've never used them, but I know that there's transparent paints around. So as just a little tip that you can research and see if it works, I would think that you can paint the whole thing silver and just apply a clear paint over the shoulder pads so that it still looks metallic, and I'm not too sure that that'll look great, so I'll have to experiment it myself first, and I'm not too convinced. The other thing is you can go around and try to find some brand that does metallic paints and does them on the color you want, and you can combine some other colors to make very bright highlights and shadows for those colors, and you can use that. There are metallic mediums around, but I think those are made for metallic paints. I've never really tried them. I don't really know what they are, but I would try to research that. Metallic mediums, I don't think that you could make something into some acrylic color to make it look metallic. That would be great, but I'm not really sure. So I don't have all the answers, but yeah, that would be something that I would have to research myself and see if I can do that. And it shouldn't be too hard. I mean, I could have worked with metallic paints to do my Alpha Legion tutorial, but I didn't want to go outside of the range of paints that we all have to make it, so I just stick to the regular flat colors, acrylics, to make it. So you can always do that. I don't think a flat color, non-metallic color on the trim would look that bad. I mean, it could look pretty cool, but if you want metallic, we have to do a little bit more research and find a way to make it look cool. So that's it. Thank you very much for your comment. Alright, Demonico1981SWE on my Ultramarines tutorial says, amazing fast paint, very good. One question, what is best colors? Citadel or Vallejo colors? I would say whatever you like. Whatever you paint you like best, try to look at those colors and try to use them, see if you like them. I know it's a tough decision to start the collector range and realize that you like the other one best, but there's no reason why you shouldn't mix them. They're pretty similar and they have pretty good colors, both of them. Some of them you could argue look better, or the pigment is better, or they cover better, or some you can make all sorts of arguments, but there's no reason why you couldn't just mix the colors that you like from each range and use them. The thing with Citadel, and I think people don't like them that much, is that they feel sometimes Citadels feel a little bit thicker. I don't know, maybe, but I think they're all pretty much the same. Maybe they feel more plastic, a little bit more plastic, but I don't think so. I think they look the same, and I think that the only problem with Citadel for me is that they have a very limited amount of colors, that you have to work around with those only. That's not necessarily a bad thing. A good artist knows how to mix colors and to make their own, but because I'm trying to make recipes for people, I'm constrained to a more limited amount of colors, and I don't want to do a lot of mixing so that people can use the same colors easily. And I do some mixing sometimes, but I don't really like to use mixing ratios. I would like to use the color as they are to produce a good color scheme. And Citadel has a lot of colors very oriented towards their color schemes. So if you're painting 40K and you want your models to look like 40K models on the box art, you should buy their colors. If you would like to do something more obscure, or your own chapter that has their own colors and meaning, you can go ahead and use whatever color ranges you want. Vallejo's pretty good. It has a ton of colors. Some colors I don't like the flat red. It looks cool, but it looks like pinkish from a distance or under certain light, for example. I have a big trouble with reds. Mephiston red I like, but it's very, very dark. My favorite red, I would have to say, it's Kadar base red, I think it's the one from P3. So that's not even here or in Vallejo, it's on P3. I like that red. I don't use it for 40k models because I want people that collect this and have already bought those colors to use them. And maybe that's wrong on my part, but I will try to expand a little bit more whenever I paint something different. But for now, I'm trying to stick with 40k and the stuff that I like. So there you go. So that's as far as I'm gonna go this video with questions. I think I did at least a good time for you to hang out and paint a little bit, and you can watch my other videos. I'm starting to think that we're covering some very good topics that I should do specific videos for, like I did with the priming video and the brushes and stuff on the last one. And I think they're a very good resource for you to get your questions answered. So leave questions and I'll try to answer them on the next Hangout. And congratulations to Adam, and I will send you this model as soon as I can, as soon as you give me your information. And yeah, that's it. Thank you very much for watching. Any suggestions or questions, leave them in the comments below, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.
You stayed. Great. Thank you very much for watching my video, and if you would like to further support my channel, you can become my Patreon on Patreon. You can pledge as little as $1 a month, and you are helping me create more and better content. If you can't, that's fine, because you're helping my channel a lot just for watching and sharing, but you can read all of the details if you follow the link in the description below. I hope you can spare $1 to make this hobby of mine a job for which I can get paid. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you on the next video.